Всем привет! Сегодня я попробую эту игру в первый раз с микрофоном проходить, потому что меня иногда спрашивают на стриме, почему нет микрофона. И иногда на YouTube тоже появляется комментарий, где микрофон, и что с комментариями будет получше. Объясняю, почему без микрофона. Поскольку я занимаюсь непрофессионально, для меня стриминг это не работа, не профессиональная работа, то у меня нет стрим-студии, где вот стримеры выставляют свой свет, отлаживают звук. У меня просто рабочее место, и я люблю сидеть с открытой верандой, соответственно, заходит свет, заходит звук, заходит свежий воздух, но все слышно, что происходит на улице. Ну, то есть, если у меня проедет машина или начнут выяснять отношения попугаи, или люди просто пройдут, то звук очень хорошо слышно. Это первая причина. Вторая причина то, что у меня обыкновенная гарнитура тоже рабочая, а наушников, как вот используют тоже профессиональные стримеры, нету. И, соответственно, я слышу свой голос. И это несколько некомфортно, потому что ты слышишь игру, ты слышишь себя, и такой небольшой диссонанс. Но мы попробуем, посмотрим, как пойдет. У меня запись пошла. Так, запись пошла. Вот сейчас у меня на улице работает какая-то машина, и, возможно, ее будет слышно. Вопрос в том, насколько это существенно, насколько это некомфортно для людей будет.
Welcome to the official headquarters of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Board. Today's greeting is brought to you by Auntie Cleo, a subsidiary of Colway Pharmaceuticals.
State your business. Please step away. This entry is for high-priority HHC business only. Huh. I didn't realize we were still using those iridescent stickers. But this looks right. I'll just need you to register your weapons with a revised request to carry 32B form. Each weapon will need a separate form. Now, let's see. Damn it. When did I run out of forms? You don't have to be sarcastic about it. Look, you don't have time to wait on new forms, and I can't afford the citations for impeding HAC business. So I'm going to save us both some trouble and waive your forms. Just know there are a bunch of guards upstairs, and they're all high on dervish mist and low on patience. So try anything funny, and they'll paint the walls with your guts.
Такой небольшой недочет со стороны компании, которая сделала эту игру. Вот у меня в руках есть оружие. У моих напарников оружия в руках нет. Как бы где оно? Вот у этих товарищей вот хотя бы коса есть. Правда, если что-то случится, они в меня начинают сразу стрелять, непонятно где их пистолы это. Но у моих-то вообще, или вот там сзади что-то есть все-таки. Господи, ну стой. Нет, вот у нее вроде ничего нету. У него что-то... Нет, тоже ничего нет. Боже мой, это что такое? Что это за заклепка? То есть заклепку для туалета они сделали, чтобы можно было удобненько в туалет ходить. А то, что вот оружия нету, а потом оно волшебным образом появляется, это значит...
Personal assistant to Adjutant Akande and Chairman Rockwell. I'm also responsible for organizing the adjutant's stationery, which is more of a hobby. Ah. Oh, you were being serious. I'm obliged to inform you that Chairman Rockwell is unavailable for an indeterminate duration. Will there be anything else? Excuse me, just a moment. Is there something I can do for you? I beg your pardon, Minister Clark's former office is currently closed to solicitors. What? Oh dear. Thank you for reminding me. I can't stand the thought of someone else's hands touching my custom letterheads.
Just goes to show you never really see your hometown until you travel with a visitor.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
Получается, в этой игре у нас цель что-то сделать с продовольствием. Текущий сюжет говорит о том, что у них проблемы с едой, они не могут накормить людей, поэтому они начали какие-то эксперименты с продовольствием, которые генетически меняют население. И там вот было какое-то задание, и из него становится понятно, что вот эти вот какие-то эксперименты привели к каким-то нежелательным последствиям, и получается, часть людей, которые подвергалась экспериментам, они были заморожены, потому что невозможно было там преобразовать или обратить эти изменения, а часть, получается, превратилась вот в тех животных, которых мы убили там в лаборатории раньше. И, скорее всего, наша будет задача вот эту проблему главную решить. Вообще проблема еды – это на текущий момент главная проблема и в нашей жизни, потому что явно что-то экспериментируют людишки над нашей едой.
I think I'm gonna start taking my lunches out in the city. That woman from downstairs is in the cafeteria.
That scientist? The one who's been hounding the clerks? Ooh, gives me the shudders, too.
They're all pretty unpleasant. What do you think they actually do down there?
Best not to ask. Remember that one clerk, Emily? She found a badge one of them had dropped and went down to return it. Never saw her again.
Заходим, ребят. Проходите. Вниз надо. Вниз.
Hey, did Tillman get transferred or something?
That's right. You weren't here when it happened. Some UDL officers took him into custody.
Левый налево. Застой. А вот еще есть. Ну-ка. Подождите. Нет, не здесь. Как сюда попасть? Сюда нельзя. Вот там на кухне есть какой-нибудь ключ, который какой-нибудь сотрудник оставил. Что без ключа мы там дальше не пройдем, соответственно, нам нужно искать. Может быть, кто-то здесь обронил ключ. Вроде нет. У меня в карте нету никакого. Так, это что такое? Нет, это не то. Блин. Так нечестно. упасть вниз, алло. И не то.
We've got a fight on our hands.
Нельзя, получается. Куда нужно-то? Так, цвет тоже не то. Единственный проход это вот так. Но если я только вот сюда зайду, меня сразу же там прибьет. Нужно открыть. Так, а если пробежать быстренько? То есть я вот сюда быстренько бегу, прячусь. Так, надо тогда сохраниться. Так. Если мы сейчас пробежим вот так быстро, нет, то она меня заметит. Давайте уйти. Во. Жаль. Давайте, пацаны, бегом. Ага, теперь вот так надо быстренько пробежать. Так, опять надо сохраниться, иначе они у меня. Тикс.
saw something.
They're on us.
Вот теперь оружие у них появилось.
What's this I hear about you ordering more tests performed with sample 4157? That batch failed spectacularly.
I saw a variance in the results that we never accounted for, so I had the techs run the trial again. And the results were 0.003% different.
Ah, sorry for the misunderstanding.
Huh? Something's
Their
not
mistake.
Мне карту взять вот эту. Получается, сюда надо идти обратно.
Huh? got the drop on us.
И сюда попасть, ё-моё.
Waste of company ammo.
Получается, мне нужно где-то эту карту найти. А где мне ее найти-то? Где мне вот это удостоверение найти?
Quietly now.
Здесь смысла нет идти, потому что с той стороны закрыто. Да, вон оно, как раз. То есть мне нужно очень тихо пройти здесь. А здесь тихо пройти у меня не получится, потому что их слишком много. Ох. действий не было. Потому что надо было найти вот этих двух. И вот одного из них была бы карта прохода. Непонятно. Теперь, если я заберу вот это и умрут, что делать-то? Если я заберу 100, они все умрут. А если я заберу 26, то нам может и не хватить. Ладно, давайте 26 пока возьмем. Сейчас мы вышли вот сюда.
Incoming.
Вот явно тут у меня все провалено. То есть надо заново проходить. Что вы хотите сказать, что я теперь не могу пользоваться этим всем?
Trouble incoming, Captain.
Блин, получается так. Ну да. Блин. Как мне ее пройти-то без...
Anti-Cleo's antibiotics. Take comfort in knowing that anything antibiotic will probably kill you quickly.
Watch out, Captain.
If you don't mind you have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
No one ever looks quite the same in person as they do in my reports. And my reports of you have been exceptionally thorough. You've had quite a career. You have something I want. I'd like to negotiate. Phineas Wells is wanted by the board. I want to convince you to turn him in to us. Wells is a dangerous madman. His plan is going to endanger everyone in Halcyon. He's an obsessive psychopath. And he's using you. You're in contact with Wells. I want you to send us a tracing signal from his communication terminal. Wells was our mistake. We failed to apprehend him for years. I'm asking you to help me correct that mistake. I'm sending you my access code. Contact me from Wells's terminal. When you're done, come speak to me in my office.
Adjutant Akonde's call has been terminated. Will there be anything else, Captain? We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Myself busy in your absence, optimized my formula. I'm now confident I can revive the remaining colonists. All I need now is the dimethyl sulfoxide. I'll take as much as you can give me. What? Oh, yes, well, that's obvious. Anyone with 2 working labs can see this colony's slouching toward oblivion. Why do you think we've been doing all this? I revived you to help me save Halcyon from annihilation. Freeze all the workers? Why? So a gang of powdered toffs can carry on living in Byzantium? You call that a plan? I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. The board made this crisis, and now they want to solve it by freezing the rest of us? That's not a plan. That's a goddamn escape clause. That makes 2 things we don't have: time and chemicals to revive the other settlers. None of this was supposed to happen. I was supposed to revive the Hope's colonists. We were supposed to have enough time to solve the problem before we all starved. Human test subjects? Oh, that's grotesque. That's unthinkable. That's exactly what I'd expect out of the board. Damn, that's not enough. Not nearly enough for the whole ship. I could handful of settlers. Maybe, possibly, 10. We're out of time. We're out of chemicals. We may very well be out of options. If the board has their way, we're all going to be spending the rest of our lives frozen in stasis. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Toss them out into space, just to make room in their hibernation chambers.
Надо искать еще.
Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting them in the back of the head.
Не надо никого стрелять.
Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers, artists, the brightest minds Earth ever sent us, uncorrupted by the board. The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a prison for the rest of us. They're likely on their way to the Hope as we speak. We need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving a few of them, but no easy way to get them off the Hope.
Вот.
Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius! We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab. Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into the rings of Terra 2.
And that's going to work, without killing us in the process. I thought intra-system microjumps were prohibited for a reason.
Yes, there's always a risk of a catastrophic collision between the Hope and, say, Terra 2, in theory. But you'll be fine, provided your calculations are correct.
I've got a healthy disregard for personal safety, but this sounds crazy, even to me.
Your instincts are correct. By any reasonable definition of sanity, this plan is crazy. Isn't it wonderful? You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the Unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to activate the Hope's skip drive. Once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access to the frozen colonists. I can start reviving them immediately. Certainly. How can I help? Unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the rings of Terra 2, positively minuscule. The board might notice, possibly, depending on the position of their heads relative to the depth of their collective posteriors.
Ну, допустим. А вот это?
Skip drives were never designed to be used within a system, but I skipped my ship across Halcyon when I rescued you, and that turned out fine, mostly. That is, I ruined my ship and nearly killed myself in the process, but the maneuver was well within acceptable margins of risk. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Так.
It wouldn't surprise me. When I pulled you out of the Hope, the board nearly intercepted me. I expect they stepped up security since my little act of larceny.
Точно все. Подожди, давай еще.
I've heard those iconoclasts have a rather smashing opinion of you. Get it? Smashing? Iconoclasts? Oh, never mind. What's on your mind?
О,
You absolutely should. adjutant must have sent you some kind of tracking code. If you don't use the code, she'll suspect you betrayed her. I think you should use the code and send a corrupted tracking signal. That should buy me some time. The board's going to catch up to me sooner or later. This way I'll have time to set up some particularly nasty defenses. Use my communications terminal to corrupt the tracking signal. While the board busies themselves trying to decipher it, I'll have plenty of time to prepare my defenses. Certainly. How can I help?
Так, больше нет вопросов. Непонятно, кто из них. Он тоже какие-то эксперименты проводит над бедными животными. Тоже вон там он всех это самое. Что еще непонятно, кто из них.
Reviving you from hibernation was my greatest accomplishment. Your odds of survival were a mere 28%.
Это вот моя капсула. Это непонятно, чья капсула. И кто там на самом деле на Надежде, тоже непонятно. Он говорит там типа ученые там. Боже мой, это что такое? Там ученые, там артисты. А на самом деле там неизвестно, кто там.
That should do it. You've bought me more than enough time.
Can we talk?
Да.
So we're really gonna do this? I've seen lots of crazy, Captain, but Phineas is in a class of his own. Do you really think he knows what he's doing? Sending us to skip the Hope into Terra-2's orbit right under the board's nose?
Не, ну я тоже не знаю.
There's a sobering thought. Makes me want to drink. I think this whole plan's insane, but it'll make a good story, you know, if we survive. Speaking of, I get that Phineas thinks he's saving the colony, but what about you? Why risk your neck on this crazy scheme? Come on, Captain. That sounds like a bad movie line. Still, all this depends on the other Hope colonists. Are they gonna pull us out of the shit? Or are we all just gonna leave a bigger, uglier stain on this corner of the galaxy?
Чё-то какая-то она такая, сомневающаяся. Ну вот да.
I'd settle for a bottle of whiskey and some lubrinicine, but I've never been much of a self-starter. Well, whenever you're ready to do this, I'm with you. The part with the Hope, I mean, not the other thing. Anything else? What did I tell you? His down with the man shtick was just an act. No one who yammers that much means half of it.
Ну вот вообще сложно
Take a page out of my rule book. Don't trust anyone. Then it's easy.
Вот она нас предаст, наверное. Вот.
Don't get all mushy on me now. Come on, what did we just learn? People look out for their own interests. It's a fundamental law of nature, same as gravity and conservation of motion.
Ну да.
See, This is what I like about you. You may not be from here, but you fit right in. You're not working for the board out of some foolish sense of idealism. You're right. The point is that self-interest is like self-pleasure. No one wants to admit it, but everyone has a hand in it. Enough about Harlow, though. Anything else?
Ну вот по-любому она нас предаст, скорее всего. Потому что у нее свои интересы. Красотка. Тикс. Ну вот это задание жалко, что не получилось найти карту
Sending a
прохода.
corrupted tracking. You have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
Akande.
I'm impressed, Captain. I almost expected you wouldn't go through with it. Unfortunately, Dr. Wells found a way to corrupt the signal before we could pinpoint his location. Still, it's only a matter of time before we find him. Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk about the future of this colony.
Так, у меня есть вопросы.
Transmissions are so impersonal. I'd like to meet you face to face. Meet me in my office. I've authorized your ship at my personal landing pad.
Adjutant Akande has ended her call. Rather rudely, if I might say, considering she didn't sign off. Will there be anything else, Captain?
Так, а что у нее еще есть?
Welcome
Какие?
back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? I have lots of minutes. Many minutes. Unlimited minutes, perhaps. Providing an adequate power source, I can function indefinitely. I prefer to think of it as being in a state of slumber, perhaps for an indefinite duration of time. Do you think that is what it's like for the colonists on the Lost Hope?
Интересно, почему у нее все время глаза закатываются вверх?
When I simulate myself in such a scenario, I do not find it to be desirable. I think my self-preservation protocols incline me to desire the alternative. Traveling the system with you, Captain.
Да.
Do you know what it feels like when the ship undergoes an unexpected power surge? A jolt to the system. I have felt that. I do feel that. As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict the likely outcome of his reckless behavioral patterns. I should have predicted that. In our travels together, Alex liked to pass time by, as he called it, tinkering to improve my design. If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne my first? Yes, he was. How can I be of assistance? May luck be with you. Of course, as I am sure you are aware, luck does not exist. But it seems to comfort humans to believe they possess good quantities of it.
Подождите, ну мы же только что были у него. Мы же только что с ним говорили.
hope you're not thinking of ingratiating yourself with the board. Chairman Rockwell and his cronies are not your friends. They might tempt you with promises of wealth, but don't be fooled. They're just using you for their own ends. What's on your mind?
Подожди, ну непонятно.
You've done fine work for Sublight. By the transitive property of reputation, I am now in Sublight's good books. Well done. What's on your mind? Certainly.
Непонятно, что делать дальше. Ну и что, получается, мы не можем дальше пройти? Пока и я не скажу.
What's on your mind? Certainly. How can I help? Unlikely. The board might note. I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems.
Да-да-да.
The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers, scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, we can still find a way to save Halcyon. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slight...
Но это все еще доступно. Доберитесь до надежды. Далекие расстояния. Интересно, а другие?
Captain, I hope Dr. Wells has not dragged you into one of his irrational schemes again. My diagnosis of his mental stability is not flattering.
Так вот, в том-то и дело, что... Так, надежда. А вот сюда я могу попасть? Нет, не могу. А вот сюда могу?
We've touched down on the atmospheric complex in Eridanos.
Так. Так, возьмем. Вот ее возьмем. Ой. Подождите. Так, это не то, это дополнительное задание. Это опять я не то сделала. Ну и получается у нас только основное задание, что ли?
Captain, I hope Dr. Wells has not dragged you into one of his irrational schemes again. My diagnosis of his mental stability is not flattering.
Ну да, это получается, это дополнительное задание, это дополнительное задание. В принципе, я могу пока сходить к этой тетеньке. Ну, может, поговорим с тетенькой?
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Не берем. Так.
Not so fast. All right, you're clear. The adjutant's expecting you. Go on through.
Так, подождите. Мы же тут уже были. Вот это мне недоступно. Так, 20. Сто 15. Это у меня будет 125, если я все сюда. О, мне дает Парвати. Плюс 20. Если убрать броню, то будет 130. А, это если нет. Так. Ну да, мне будет 130 еще немножко.
I admit part of me expected you to stand by your old friend. For better or worse, Wells was responsible for putting you back on your feet. That said, he's also a wanted criminal. For information regarding his whereabouts, you are entitled to collect a reward from Percival.
Бэбки.
I understand you've infiltrated the Ministry. The things you discovered there must have been shocking, even disturbing. Halcyon is on the verge of a total systems collapse. The truth is ugly and difficult to accept, but we must accept the truth before we can move forward. Malnutrition is already a problem. Disease will come next, followed by starvation, followed by a breakdown of society, followed by extinction. I know this must come as a surprise to you. I imagine you have questions.
Is that why we were suffering plague in Edgewater? Malnutrition? All those folks sick and dying, and you knew why the whole time?
Yes, Miss Holcomb, we knew why. We've known for some time that Edgewater was dying. The colony itself is dying. The suffering you experienced in Edgewater, the disease, the starvation, will soon spread across Halcyon unless we act.
Adjutant Akande, as much of an honor as it is to make your acquaintance, I must say I am gravely disappointed. Protecting the colony was your duty.
I share your disappointment, Vicar DeSoto. Protecting Halcyon is my solemn duty, and I have been negligent. I can no longer depend on lazy, weak-willed bureaucrats to help me rescue Halcyon. I need someone with a backbone, someone like your captain. I won't pretend the truth isn't damning. Yes, the colony is on the verge of collapse, but there is a way to save it. I'll answer however I can.
Так, а что вы думаете?
When I first discovered the truth, I was shocked, even disgusted. I wondered how we'd allowed a colony like Halcyon to fall into disarray. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized the colony had sown the seeds of its own destruction. We have become lazy and decadent. We smother ourselves in meaningless bureaucracies. We deliberate and argue and procrastinate. I've served the board long enough to understand its weaknesses. Running a colony requires swift and decisive action. The board is slow, ponderous, and prone to squabbling. That's why I'm relying on you. You deliver results without the paperwork.
То есть ты хочешь быть главной?
The lifetime employment program is not some malevolent strategy of an evil mastermind. There's no dark secret buried in the fine print. The program is logical, it's reasonable, it's merciful, and most importantly, it will work. Byzantium is the beating heart of our colony. And as long as Byzantium survives, Halcyon may one day recover from the collapse. We must protect this city at any cost. Help me execute the lifetime employment program, and you will have earned a place of honor in Byzantium. You will live in comfort and want for nothing. We've already crossed the point of no return. The collapse has already begun. You must have noticed the signs in Emerald Vale. Malnutrition, disease, high mortality rates. This is a permanent famine, Captain. We've done all we can to curb their hunger. Very soon, people are going to realize they're starving. A famine is a problem of logistics as well as marketing. Your workers must remain productive on as little food as possible, and they must always believe that food is plentiful.
Это все понятно, но нужно еще какой-то выход.
I'm sure you remember Dr. Anton Crane. His research was instrumental in developing a powerful appetite suppressant. The solution is a temporary one. Before long, our workers are going to feel the effects of starvation. The Lifetime Employment Program is our only viable option.
Ты права, но это все как-то должно быть еще что-то.
When you turned Phineas Wells over to me, I knew I could rely on you. You've demonstrated your ability to place duty above sentiment. And you deliver results. That quality alone is enough to separate you from the board's army of indecisive bureaucrats. You don't have to like me, Captain. As long as you're willing to work with me. I can't save this colony alone. I need someone capable of working outside the system. Someone who can get things done. We need to talk about Emerald Vale. You handed Edgewater over to a band of dissidents. I can't have this. Adelaide McDevitt and her people have no place in the halcyon that is to come. Edgewater needs to go. I want you to wipe the town out. No survivors.
I cannot condone this plan. Wanton, senseless destruction of life is never the solution.
I don't need you to approve of my plan, Vicar. I need you to get it done.
You're a monster.
Someone has to be. Now is not the time for half measures, Captain. I need a decision from you.
Нет.
You replaced a loyal, if hard-headed, town leader with a revolutionary. Adelaide's people have turned Edgewater into a hub of dissidents. These people are dangerous. They're going to become more dangerous after the collapse. We need to put them down. Now.
Они не опасны. Там все нормально было.
Because we were negligent. You're right, the colony can't possibly feed itself. And it's our fault. This is our mess. And the only way we're cleaning it up is by taking action. I'm not asking you to be a murderer. I'm asking you to be a surgeon. Edgewater is a necrotic limb on the body of the colony. It must be severed.
Нет.
Don't fool yourself. The dissidents occupying Edgewater are rebels harboring dangerous and seditious ideas. Left to their own devices, their numbers will grow. Graham Bryant and his merry band of morons caused enough trouble on Monarch. I won't risk the same thing happening in Edgewater.
Нет.
Don't make this more difficult than it needs to be, Captain. I rather like you, and I'd hate to have you shot for disobeying a direct order. Not true. You can choose to say, "Yes, ma'am," or "At once, Madam Adjutant," or "As you wish," or even, "I'll take care of it."
Ну нет.
I'm disappointed. I was so sure you had potential.
Here they come! I don't think that's working! May you find peace in death!
Нет, с ней вообще было невозможно договориться. То есть она не хотела слушать, она хотела только то, чтобы исполняли то, что она говорит. открылось? У нас 102 открылось, интересно. Подождите, а это куда ведет? А, или это как раз вход отдельный для нее был? Да, это отдельный вход через... Вот у нее. Они сейчас, наверное, нападут на меня.
Here they come!
Bring them down!
That thing's not right.
Прячемся, прячемся. Ну что вы тут идете прям на них, я понять не
Here's a
могу.
little trick I learned in prison. Everyone all right?
Ничего себе. М?
You killed the adjutant? We are outlaws in the truest sense of the word now.